with the help of Kitzer Likutey Moharan, number 5. And I welcome you all to the Shir, and the goal is to bring us all closer to Hashem. So the Rebbe starts out with trumpets and the sound of the shofar. Tehillim 96:6. Sanhedrin. Every person is obligated to say the whole world was created only for me. Al kain sarei kol adam lirois la'ayim b'chois v'sikun oidom l'malois chesroin oidom l'spalel ba'avura. Therefore, every person must look into and consider at all times how to rectify the world, to provide what is lacking in the world, and to pray on its behalf. All right, in order to say this famous passageway, we must be able to look inside ourselves and to think, therefore, if the world is created for me, which is what we're supposed to think about, therefore I must do something to make it better. And therefore I'm a powerful person. What I do is going to affect other people, and I can bring a rectification. I can improve the life for others. And therefore the person has a responsibility if a person didn't go around thinking the world was created for himself, then he's not going to pray for the world. If he realizes his connection to all of Israel, and even to the Goyim, and even to the animals, and all life from vegetable, everything, then he's going to pray. Tzarich lasos a mitzvah b'simcha gedola kol chach ad shelo yirtze b'shum schar olam haba b'shvilo elo sheyazmin lo kadosh baruch hu mitzvah acheres b'schar mitzvah zois. A person must perform a mitzvah with such great joy that he does not desire any reward in the world to come. Rather, he should only desire that Hashem should send him another mitzvah as a as a reward for this mitzvah, since he derives enjoyment from the mitzvah itself. Ki hu nene ha-mitzvah ma'atzmo v'ayidei zeh yuchal leida ma sheyi gezar ad ha'olam v'im hu koydem gezar din oy la'achar gezar din v'al mi v'ami ni gezar hadin chas v'sholom. Through this joy, a person can know what has been decreed upon the world, whether it is before the decree or after the decree, and upon whom the decree has been finalized, God forbid. V'almi v'almi nigzar din chas v'sholom v'yeda eich nispalo avur ha'olam ki la'achar gezar din tzrichim l'tzadikim lahalbish tefilosam Sipurim, Jose, Zoichin, Aidei Asiyas, Mitzvah, Besimcha Gedola, Mitzvah, Be'atz. Whoopee! Oops, sorry for that. Charging the phone at the same time. That might happen. Okay. He also knows how to pray for the world, for after the final decree has been made, the tzaddikim must clothe their prayers in stories. All this is attained by performing a mitzvah with great joy over the mitzvah itself. So, a person should do mitzvahs not for the reward, but that Hashem should bless them with another opportunity to do good. This should be the goal of the mitzvah, to get another mitzvah. To learn Torah in order that you should be able to go and have more strength to learn even more Torah. To go and give charity, so you know that Hashem will then say, oh, he gave charity, let me give him this opportunity to do more kindness to other people. This should be the golden mitzvah, is that joy, that joy of having another mitzvah that should follow. Okay, and through this, a person will understand the decrees of the world and what might be Ruach HaKodesh, and know what's going to happen. And understand the dinim in the world, and therefore he'll know how to pray for the world and others. And so it says that tzaddikim clothe their and keep getting back up, right, in life. So the tzaddikim have to clothe their prayers sometimes in stories in order to fix things. Okay. There's no rewind on the live stream, is there? It's actually a breezy night tonight here in Israel. So everything's falling apart. Okay. Iker asimcha hu belev v'i efshar halev l'simoach ad sheyosir akamumius shebelibo shehelo yashrus lev. Yoz yizke l'simcha v'akamumius shebelev mafshitin alidei ra'amim shehem the essence of joy is in the heart. But it is impossible for the heart to rejoice until one removes the crookedness in his heart and he attains straightness of heart. Then he merits joy. The crookedness in the heart is straightened out by means of thunder. That is, by praying with energy and enthusiasm, with fear and love of Hashem and intense concentration. So the heart cannot rejoice fully until it rids itself of this crookedness. This crookedness is making it so the heart cannot rejoice in Hashem. So you have to repent for your sins in order to go and to make the heart have complete joy. These guys, the simcha now, who I mispalin bechoichois v'yira gedoyle v'hava. One merits joy by praying with energy. Person, lispalo al im kocha koichois lahoitzi es hakol v'silaso v'kagodo v'idezeh yifga hakol b'koyach v'oz yuchal l'kavin hainu shalev yishma ma shehu medaber v'idezeh yizke v'yizpashet Kamumius Shebelibo Yobo V'Simcha Sheyasa Mitzvahs V'Simcha Gedol V'Mitzvahs V'Atzman Kanal. Person must pray with all his might and utter his prayers with great energy. This causes his voice to strike his mind, and then he'll be able to concentrate. In other words, his heart will hear what he's saying, and in this way he will merit to straighten out the crookedness of his heart and come to joy to a point that he performs the mitzvahs, the commandments, with great joy over the mitzvahs themselves. Then he'll be able to clothe his prayer in stories and to nullify all the decrees even after they have been finalized. So, by praying with great energy and enthusiasm, these prayers strike your mind, okay? And they're going to get rid of that crookedness that is coming from sin and that confusion. You want to get rid of confusion? You pray with enthusiasm. That makes it so you're not confused anymore and you can think straight. Okay? When you can concentrate, you're going to have a better memory and you're going to feel good. You're going to be happy. And so then it speaks again about clothing the prayer in stories. There was a story, I forget which Hasidic Rebbe it was, and he had someone come to the Tish, and the Czar at the time was making terrible decrees against the Jewish people. And so the Rebbe said something in a way of a story relating to this ruler, that he should be excommunicated and gone. And one of the Hasidim there didn't understand that this story was a prayer, and so he disagreed with the Rebbe and say, well, you know, this could happen or that could happen, and he messed up the prayer. So the tzaddikim, the sages, and a person who does this is able to reach a level where he can hide his prayers and stories. Like many times I'm doing his bodhidus to Hashem, my Jewish meditation, and I'm using metaphors. Because I know these metaphors, Hashem loves metaphors. He loves when He wants you to conquer Him with words of prayer that are beautiful and they're intelligent. Not to just splutter it all out. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I want you to be smart in your prayers and to prove to Him that you're worthy of, and that He should change things so it should happen. And so therefore you're able to reach this level where you're able to go and hide these prayers and stories through praying with great enthusiasm and joy and doing mitzvos in order that Hashem should bless you with another mitzvah. Misha shomea tikiyas shoifer b'rosh Hashanah meish yorei b'chorei b'vadai lo yid'ag akol Hashanah mira'amim. A person who hears the shofar blast on Rosh Hashanah from a Yirah Shamayim, a God-fearing, pious man, certainly need not worry about thunder the entire year. Okay, we'll explain that. Liskois b'shleimus b'bechinas ra'amim. Now, hu ayidei shemefanin ha'moyach mikol minei chachmois ha'chitzonios ha'machashavois zorois birhurim royim. And the way to fully arrive at the thunder mentioned above is by clearing the mind of all kinds of secular wisdom, foreign thoughts, and evil ruminations. Right, we spoke about thunder being the crookedness in the heart is straightened out by means of thunder, that is praying with energy and enthusiasm, with fear and love of Hashem and intense concentration. This is considered like thunder. Okay? So the way to arrive at thunder is by getting rid of the secular wisdom. People think they can go and they learn secular wisdom, that it's going to go and bring them close to Hashem, but it like Rebbe Nachman says in another place, that it clogs the brain from Torah. The Torah, it takes up space that could otherwise be used for Torah. So you should limit it to very important things. So foreign thoughts and these any evil thought is being eradicated through the thunder, which is that enthusiasm in Torah, is going to give a person, get rid of that confusion that you have through that prayer with tremendous enthusiasm. Moed moed Sirichin lezoher lefalnois es hamoach mechmosos chitzonios umimachshavois zorois chametz shelo yachmitz as chokmoso b'chokmois chitzonios u'v'saoyis kihem metamtimin umetamin moicho v'yevshar lo lekavim b'siloso v'yevshar lo lismoach gam tzrik lishmor la'asmo ma'oid shelo yeh lo yirah chitzonios shelo yirah mishum davar rach me'Hashem yizbarach levad al yidei yirah chitzonios v'yevshar lekavim b'siloso u'moneach simcha. A person must exercise the utmost care to clear his mind of secular wisdom and foreign thoughts from chametz, leaven, so that he will not soar in his own wisdom with non-Torah idealities and bodily desires. For these things stupefy and pollute his mind, making it impossible for him to concentrate on his prayers and be happy. He must also guard himself vigilantly from extraneous fears, which means not being afraid of anything except Hashem alone. For extraneous fears make it impossible for a person to concentrate on his prayers and are impediment to joy. Bye-bye. Okay. So for extraneous fears make it impossible for a person to concentrate on his prayers and impede the joy. the viewers Chonus Efshar Kabim Silas Monech Simcha Ligar Lishma Moichol Shelo Yachmi Shelo Yehar Hermi Hurim Roimu Sanu Shehem Mechinas Chametz Shehem Sitra de Moisa B'tzar Ligor Ve'elu Achmachshava Shehem Sitra de Moisa Sitrin Acharonim Legar Shambadato Machshavato Shelo Yizkarvu Elo Lishma Satzma Mo'oi Shelo Yikansu Moich Elu Machshavo Yischas V'shoyim Gam Tzurich L'Shate V'avo Im Yiro B'yoz Daikov Yuchal Zakech Moich Yizbalo V'kavon Gedol V'chol Machol B'chochos Ad Shitiyet V'loso B'chinas Ra'amim Sh'al Yidei Zeh Zoich L'Simcha Kanal. Okay, so when a person goes and they have fears of other things, of people, of animals, I have a page on my website, and I posted here many times. I want to start a kolo. I need help and donations to do that. I have guys we have a program. We'll finish the Talmud every year, and the Mishnah Berurah. But I need the support, the money and support for that. Okay. So extraneous fears make it impossible for a person to concentrate on his prayers and impediment to joy. So I went and tested out this theory. I went and I did a spodus when I was a bacher. I drove into the Catoctin Mountains up in Maryland, where there are no human beings, just animals, deep into the forest. I parked my car and I did this spodus. I walked out there like this was, you're talking about remote, okay? The only one up there. And you could see if you have true fear of God, or if you fear animals and things happening to you when you go to such an extent where you are completely secluded. So what Rebbe Nachman is saying here is that these extraneous thoughts, these fears that you have of other people, of people hurting you, or being angry with you, or judging you, or doing something, or fears of getting hurt, through any type of these types of fears, they're extraneous, and they impede a person from concentrating on and having a clear mind, and they're like chametz. They're something they pollute the mind, and it makes it a person impossible for them to pray and have true joy. So you've got to get rid of those extraneous fears. So the main thing is to guard one's mind from soaring. That is not to entertain evil ruminations or to think about bodily desires, which are likened to chametz and are the side of death. A person must repel these thoughts which are of the side of death, the forces of the other side, and drive them out of his mind, thoughts, so that they do not come near to him. He must guard himself vigilantly, so that these thoughts do not enter his mind, God forbid. It's also necessary to join love of Hashem to fear of Hashem. Then a person will be able to purify his mind so that he can pray with intense concentration, with all his might, until his prayer becomes thunder, and he thereby merits joy. So a person has to get rid of these extraneous thoughts, these ideas of trying to go and satisfy the body all the time. You know, we'd all feel so much better if we weren't constantly thinking about ourselves and our physicality, and the gashmias and the desire for materialism. We got to get rid of this, because this is extraneous thoughts. This is cluttering our mind. So we're not reaching true happiness. We're not reaching the idea of thunder in our prayers, where we're able to go and therefore have this idea of Ruach HaKodesh, this idea of understanding what's going on in the world. Now remember, all this stemmed out from the original thing that Rebbe Nachman said, that you have to realize that the whole world is created for you. And by doing that, you're going to pray for everyone in the world and for the world to go and fix itself. You're going to fix the world by doing that. A person would think, the whole world's created for me. It's idea of pride and joy. I'm selfish like Donald Trump, maybe. Or maybe not like him, I don't know. I'm not judging him. But just for instance, the way it comes off. So, but that idea of the whole world created for me is what's going to give you the power to then realize, well, okay, the whole world's created for me. I got to fix the world for me too, and for everyone. That's the whole idea of it all. Is to reach this level of realizing that we have to go and fix things. Okay. Yes, it's nighttime here in Israel. How's it there in New York? It's very hot here. Sorry, lishmor la'atzmo mi yirois chitzoniyo shelo yipol lav yiro mishum davar shabo yidam rak shabo olav ezev yiro v'facha v'yizkur miyod yiras Hashem yizbarach v'fachto hagodo v'yamshich al atzmo yiras Hashem hakol hayom tamid ayidei zeh yuchal yizpalel im chochochois lo yitzim mikoach godol v'yoso yiriyah v'yoso v'chinas ra'amim yizkeh lishmoya Hey, Tev Mashem Moisi Befi. By the Zeh Yiskel Simcha Lasus Kol HaMitzvos Simcha Gedoyla VaMitzvah Ba'atzmo. By the Zeh Yiskel Eida Levatel Kol HaGzerus Kafilu La'achar Gazar Din Chas V'Sholom. Person must guard himself from extraneous fears, so that he is not afraid of anything in the world. Rather, when he experiences some fear or dread, he should immediately remember the fear of God and his great awesomeness, and he should draw the fear of Hashem upon himself throughout the day, continuously. In this manner, now I want you all to look now at my two if you can, you can't scroll down if you're logged in, but if you're not logged in here, you'll see that I just posted 3 stories about Yiras Hashem and making and fear of God. One about Victor Miller, how they were on the turnpike, and he immediately screamed out, "Stop the car!" to the driver, and he got out, and they didn't know what something was wrong, maybe the tire, what was wrong with the car, and nothing was wrong. And they asked him, "Rabbi, why'd you make us pull over in the middle of the FDR? But you're going to like this one." And he told him, "Because I forgot Hashem for one moment. Therefore, I needed to remember him, so I asked you to stop." Or Victor Miller. On your turnpike there. And then there's a story of Dropshitz, where he was in a wagon, and he immediately jumped out of the wagon, and he jumped over the bridge and immersed into the waters as a mikvah, and everyone thought he was crazy. Well, he jumped out of the wagon, where he could have gotten hurt, and it's such a sudden thing that it happened. And so he got dressed. The wagon's just waiting there, trying to figure out what's wrong with this rabbi. And he explained to him that I forgot God for one moment. And therefore, because it's my custom to have Shavisi Hashem L'negdi Samid. I place Hashem before me always. And he forgot that for one moment. This was the fear of God that they had. So if you want to fix your wrongful fears, you have to go and increase your fear of God and think about Hashem all the time throughout the day. And that's going to fix those extraneous thoughts that are causing you to fear other people and events. Because you got to get rid of that. Because it's ruining your prayers and it's ruining your joy. That's what Rebbe Nachman is teaching. Okay, so in this manner, he'll be able to pray forcefully and to utter his prayers with great energy, and his prayer will be as thunder. He will merit to hear loudly and clearly what comes out of his mouth, and through this merit joy, to perform all the mitzvos with great joy over the mitzvah itself. And in this way, he will merit to know how to nullify all the decrees, even after they've been finalized, God forbid. Gam srigli shatev avoim hayiro kedei liskois konao kiker his gabrus hu aidei avo af al pikein srichin lahakdim as a yiro. And it's also necessary to join love of Hashem with fear of Hashem in order to merit all of the above, since the main way to overcoming one's enemies is through love. Nevertheless, the fear must come first. A person's got to have fear of God and he's got to have love of God. You can't have one without the other. They both work in unison. And first you have the fear and then comes the love. But you got to have that love. You got to have that love of God. And this is going to help you to overcome your enemies. Anyways, like I was saying, I don't prepare my lessons, I'm sorry. I don't really have the time. So I just posted 2 posts on the wall about these stories of the Yiras Hashem, not knowing that would be what I'm going to speak about tonight. And I also went to a shir tonight from the Breslov Rebbe, and he actually spoke a lot about the idea of the extraneous thoughts and how we have to go and get rid of being attached to the nefesh behemoths and attach ourselves to the holy. And the materialism is destroying us. We have to go and attach ourselves to the divine. And with the Vekas, same thing. Misha yirtze lachus al chayo sarich Yizgaber shelo yishma v'yishgiach kolo al hamarivoy shebein hatzadikim shel hashleimis rak hamin b'kula v'ad rabbo k'sheshomea hamarivoy shebein hatzadikim yikach atzmo musa v'yiztakel al azmo eichan hu boilon gi b'zeh mochichin oiso al hapagom B'tipei moicho ki v'adi'im lo haya nifgam moicho lo haya nishma lo amerivoy shebein hatzadikim lo haya nichnas libo shumun kushya Alim kala ikar ameriva hi rak b'shvilo hainu b'shvil zeh b'atzmo na k'dei sheyovim v'yizkor al yidei ameriva shebein hatzadikim leichan hu olam sheyirtze l'garsho min hachayim hamitim shehem hatzadikim hamitim al yidei ameriva hazois mechama shepogam b'tipei moicho she'olav nemar kol be'ohe Lo yeshuvun v'lo yasigu archois chayim. Says in Mishlei. Okay, person who wishes to take pity on his own life must strive not to listen or to pay any attention at all to the conflicts between the tzaddikim and the sages. We should go into this one. Who have reached perfection. Instead, he should believe in all of them. To the contrary, when he hears the arguments between sages, he should take it as a personal reproof and look at himself and at who and what he really is. Lesson 5, number 11. For with this they are rebuking him for spoiling the drops of his mind, because of if his mind were not blemished, he would surely not even hear the arguments between the tzaddikim. So he's not kosher in his bris milah, having bad thoughts and impure thoughts. And this is what's causing him to therefore get involved and put himself in between the arguments of sages, which he should stay out of, because he's not on a holy level. He should therefore look at himself as he finds himself inside this, and would not entertain any questions about them whatsoever if he was pure. The essence of this conflict is only for him, that is, for the purpose of what was just stated, so that he will understand and remember by means of the conflict between the tzaddikim and the sages who and what he really is, to the point that he is in danger of being driven away from true life, which is the true tzaddikim, the sages, through this conflict. This is due to the fact that he blemished the drops of his mind, about which is written, all who enter it will not return, they will not attain the paths of life. So many times you see people getting involved in disputes between the sages, between this rabbi and that rabbi giving their opinion. You see people getting into fights even and arguing about this. My rabbi says this, your rabbi says that. I've seen disputes destroy entire communities. And you're supposed to stay out of these things. It's not for you. You don't know what they're really arguing about. You don't know. I mean, you hear the outside story. You don't know the ins and outs of it all. You're not a sage, so stay out of it. Don't go. People are, throw rocks. They get into big disputes between different Hasidic sects and rabbis. I'll tell you this. There's so many disputes even in Breslov. Okay, between Breslov and let's say another movement that doesn't like Breslov. Okay, and the Hasidim, if you come in there with a Breslov book, they'll take you, and you hear stories. They take you and they throw you out. Okay. Now I heard from people that were. I heard from people that were not just close, but family with the Rebbes. And I heard from people who actually own a Breslov bookstore, okay? And they told me that ex-rabbi, but don't tell anyone, This is a big Rebbe, okay, who they say rumors about he hates Breslov, hates Rebbe Nachman, okay? He says 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night he comes here, just privately to my store, he calls me up, and he buys everything on the shelf. He's asking me questions about Breslov, everything. Okay, this is one of the biggest rabbis that teaches that his followers that we don't follow the way of Breslov. Okay, at the same time I'm one of the few people in Breslov or in Hasidic movements where I have made in Makar thousands of people, and I go and I send people all the time. I see people coming to Breslov. I tell them, you think I don't know if I belong here. I tell them maybe you'd be better off in Chabad. Okay, maybe you'd be better off somewhere else, because I realize that everyone is unique. Not everyone is supposed to be a Breslov Chassid. Okay, and I never heard anyone in Breslov say that before, but that's what it is. Not everyone's supposed to be Chabad. Everyone has a tikkun. Okay. And the person who has respect for the rabbis and all the sages and all of Judaism, that's the person that's going to really thrive. A person who loves the Sfardim, who loves the Ashkenazim, who loves the Hasidim, who loves the Litvish, and loves Torah and Jews. They're going to strive, and they're the ones that are going to attain Ruach HaKodesh. They're the ones that are going to go and be close to God. They're finding the true emes. The emes is realizing that there are many paths to get to the same goal. So don't get involved in these conflicts, okay? Stay away from conflict in your life in general, okay? Don't go to bed at night angry. Stay away, make shalom as much as possible. If you can't make shalom, you know what it says, there's a Gemara that says that first comes, let's see if I can remember it. First comes din, and then comes emes, and then comes truth. First comes judgment, then comes truth, because after judgment comes truth, and then comes shalom, then comes peace. So sometimes you're at a place in life where you need to go and get to a place of shalom and peace, and sometimes it can only be through din, sometimes it can only be through conflict. But that is something that you still must try to stay away from. Always try to seek the path of peace. I think I went off on a tangent. The person who was inside, where we're holding, we're number 11. Did we finish it? Okay. For in truth, Hashem desires to do kindness and wishes to draw close to those who are far from, even though they are not deserving of. They are unable to draw close, however, except by means of this test. The test of. Anyway, so basically, the Rebbe is saying that by having improper thoughts and impurity, I'm on page 33. That this draws a person further from God, from truth. Now let's just go back. Understand this is distance from as a result of all this and squanders his life. Whoever truly wishes to take pity on himself, quite to the contrary, will thereby be awakened and remind himself who and what he really is. He will understand that this is the test he must pass by not hearing and looking at this conflict. Then, precisely through this, he will draw close to the true tzaddikim, the sages, which is the whole means of eternal rectification. For the essence of the conflict between the sages is primarily for the purpose of this test, so that the person who wishes to distance himself may do so. Indeed, it is appropriate to distance himself Since he has blemished the drops of his mind, but if he wishes to stand up to this test and to understand the enormity of the damage that he's done and not to pay attention to this conflict, then precisely through this he will draw close. So by the rectification for tikkun abris, for the damage a person has done through impure thoughts and fantasies and acting out on those, is to stand up to this test of not getting involved in the disputes of the sages. This is a tikkun for this. For since he did such great damage, it's impossible for him to draw close, except by means of this particular close. This is going to draw him closer to the sages, by him staying out of the conflicts. For in truth, Hashem desires to do kindness and wishes to draw close those who are far from him, even though they are not deserving of it. They are unable to draw close, however, except by means of this test. Okay. Yud Beis. המחשבוי זוירוס והרהורים רואים הם בחינת סטרא דמויסו בחינת חומץ וכשהמחשבוי זוירוס כנעו רויפים אחר המויח להיכנס בו ואדם גויגר בהם ואויסה מצו מריבו עמהם ואינו מניח אויסם לכנוס לסך המוח על ידי זה ניצו ובחינת חומץ סטרא דמויסו וזכר לקבל מויכים גדולים שהם בחינת מצו בחינת מחיים. Foreign thoughts and evil ruminations are the side of death, represented by chametz. When these foreign thoughts chase after one's mind, trying to enter it, the person repels them and engages in conflict and dispute with them, not allowing them to enter his mind. Right? He's fighting these extraneous thoughts, these impure thoughts, and he's pushing them away. He's in conflict and dispute with them. He's thereby rescued from the chametz, the side of death. Moreover, he merits to attain high levels of understanding represented by matzah, which is associated with life. Right, we understand that matzah is the storing of the chametz, and eating matzah on Pesach is efficacious to attaining this idea, this above that we spoke about. So a person should fight this, and he's going to reach a very high level by fighting these extraneous thoughts. Don't just let them seep in your mind, but try to get rid of them. Rebbe Nachman teaches a method of this. He says if you have thoughts, extraneous thoughts that come to your mind, when you fight and push on them, sometimes you make them greater and stronger. But instead, if you just try to think of something else, then it can go away on its own. Try to fill it with Torah, with good thoughts. המחלוקת שיש בין הצדיקים השלמים הוא גם כן רק בשביל זה בכדי לגורס סיטרין אחרונים דלא יזכריבו למשכנו לקדושה ועל ידי זה המחלוקת שביניהם הוא בחינת מצה. This strife that exists between the sages who have attained perfection is also for this reason, in order to drive out the forces of the other side, so they do not draw close to the tabernacle of holiness. Therefore, the strife that exists between them is represented by matzah. The Hebrew word for matzah can mean both strife and unleavened bread. So the reason why there's many arguments between the sages and the followers don't get this, and they get too seeped involved in this, and they start to think, like right now there's arguments between Rav Steinman, Rav Kanievsky, and Rav Auerbach here in Israel. So people get involved, or Chassidim get very, very worked up in these things. And there was a Kolo, great yeshiva in Bnei Brak, and they had to divide the yeshiva because everyone was at odds with each other over this. But no, this machlokas is not for you to be involved in. You're not supposed to be inside this. And so, but Rabbi Nachman is teaching that the reason for this machlokas is that sometimes these rabbis do it on purpose, almost. I wouldn't say exactly on purpose, but it comes about because by doing these machlokas, they're able to go and rid the other tzaddik, the other sage, from a divine judgment, and for him to be taken from the world. Sometimes it can save his life. Sometimes it can go, and by making this, you make the tzaddik strong, you make his followers stronger. There's a lot of deep reasons why there's strife between the sages, and it's not for simple folk to be involved. And people get involved, they make it 10 times worse. And otherwise it would be something simple. And I proved to you before that I personally have heard stories of sages today that you find that their followers, say that the rabbi is completely against this, this Hasidus, this other rabbi, and the other rabbi has all the books and he loves them in his own house. Okay, but for the Hasidim, for his followers, there has to be this idea of strife, but it could be that there is no strife at all between these sages. There are many private meetings between sages that people thought were in dispute, and behold, they were great friends, and some of them even maybe chavrusa. So sometimes you don't understand the whole picture. Stay out of it, but that idea of staying out of it is going to bring you a rectification for being pagama bris. And we started out the lesson. Now we finished, but we're going to review. We started out, the whole world is created for me, and therefore by having that thought, you're going to go and pray for the world, and you're going to try to rectify the problems in the world, and to do more mitzvos and pray and help others. And we spoke about the importance of doing mitzvos, commandments with joy, and not for the reward, but in order to get Hashem bless you with another mitzvah. Talmud says, a person does a good thing, Hashem's going to lead him in another good thing. A person does something bad, God makes it easier for a next bad thing to happen. And Rebbe Nachman says that once all the bad things pile up over a long period of time, it's very hard to eradicate them. You have to find the first idea of when you sinned and fix that one. And remember back, 10 years ago, start working on those things, and then it's going to go and get rid of the whole pile. But once it gets higher and higher, a person is repetitive in sin, it gets harder to fix it all. But if a person is involved in mitzvahs and commandments, you're going to get another commandment. So don't ignore mitzvahs. When you do mitzvah, you're going and if Hashem sees that you enjoy that mitzvah, you're doing it in order to get another mitzvah.